Hello and welcome. I'm Bill Wake. We're going to return to the TuneSim project. It's a tool to help a musicologist analyze multiple versions of a single song. One of the things we did was we created a melody average report, and I want to convert that from kind of a text form to a SwiftUI kind of real form. Conceptually, the report looks like this. On the left columns, the rows, those row headers tell you the degrees of the scale. So is it the first note, the second note, basic do, re, mi stuff. The main octave, he's used uppercase Roman numerals. An octave higher is 1, 2, 3 standard Arabic numerals. And then below the main note is underscored Roman numerals. Okay, so that just tells you this. Note of the scale. Then across the top, I'm not sure what up is. It may be a pickup note. I'm not quite sure. But then he goes into the notes, the phrases, first note, second note, third note, fourth note. C is common, fourth note. Again, I'm not quite sure of the scale he's using, time scale, if these are one per measure or one per note. I think they're the beats within a measure, though. And same thing for measure 2, measure 3, measure 4. And he calls this a conspectus. I don't know. That means overview. But what he's done is he's cataloged for, 284 versions of tunes. Like, do they start on the first note, the second note, the third note? And within that, he's kind of highlighted the box that shows the most common starting point or, note for that piece of the melody. And then the others tell you the range. So there's one that started on the note below do. Whoops. One started on the note below do. One started 2 notes below. One started 3 notes below. 4 started 3 notes below. And there's various others spread around. But you can sort of see he's drawn lines between most of those boxes to tell you kind of the average melody, I guess you'd say. It's really a mode in statistical terms, but mode is so overloaded in music, I'm afraid to use that word in this context. So I know it's not a true average. The true average would be, add up the counts of those things and come up with whatever's the average there. It looks like it's about the average, though. They're pretty close in this case. And we tried to produce a report like that. We did produce a report. Let's see if we can. I've run tests. Let's make sure that's all happy. Okay. And let's run the app. Okay, so we're going to have a file, and we probably want to quantize. We'll quantize to quarter notes, and let's do the melody average. Okay. And the file, hopefully, okay, we got no scaling. Let's take this one. I don't know if it matters. And if we view this, okay. I mean, you can see I've sort of done it. I mean, it's on a SwiftUI view, but it's really just all text, turned into one big string, okay? And I really don't want to do it that way. Okay, but we can see the biggest tune has 48 measures or 48 beats. Okay, and all these ones tell us that most of them don't. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. It looks like the second biggest. No, it's not even 36. Okay, these zeros don't really do it for me. Oh, maybe that is the only tune in the box. Oh no, here's some 2s. Some differences. This only has 3 tunes though. Here's 2, and eventually drops down to 1. Okay. Let's take that other file just to get the real sense of the thing. Okay, this is, well, it sure would have been nice to tell me how many tunes. 22, 23, 27, 28. Oh, I think we had 30, 39. Okay. Let me take a different report. How many tunes? 39. Total measures 587. Average measures 15. Average notes per tune 50. If you divide by 4, well, they probably do eighth notes and stuff. So, oh, it is quantized. Okay, so divide by 4, the average tune has got 12-ish, 12 and a half-ish. Okay, and let's go back to this melody report. Maybe those are still dimmed out too much. I don't know. I want to select them, but okay. But anyway, we can see here, like if we were able to box these, 12, 8, 11, 9, nothing. This is an artifact. We're finding that the maximum measure size is 6. I think maybe we should not do that and only include the 5 and the 6 for the measure that actually is that big. Measure 4 for a measure that is that big. They don't seem very common, so maybe one measure got extra long. And you could make an argument, well, it depends. I don't know what the time signatures are of those. Okay. But anyway, we got that view. I would like it to be more like a SwiftUI like grid view. I would even consider, like, should we have those the lines between them? If we did, I think we could cut down on the space noticeably. I mean, the most you get, I suppose, you get 2 digits dot 2 digits, so maybe 5 characters. I guess we've allowed for that. I don't know. It may not add that much. Okay. Now I don't know why this is centered. We probably can change that, but I think my goal is more to explore a different way of doing it, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Okay. Close tabs to the right. All right. Let's get in there. Oh, what's your problem? What's your difference, I should say? I think it's that we added expect test. Oh, I took out a meaningless message. Okay. Let's push this. Okay. I guess I get to wonder if things are really working today. There we go. Let me check this too. Okay, that looks like it's current. All right. Don't need this. Okay, so we're looking for average tune. Okay. This is the model for it, I guess you'd say. It knows its name and the icon and all that stuff. But the output is what it produces. Okay. Now, that's not necessarily ideal. Output, that's, I don't know. I'd rather be a grid. Okay, this is counts for things, so it's got the it can increment. It can give us the thing at a given subscript, and it populates the tunes into the table. Note count rows. Okay, this is the headers, and not much there. Okay, and then the report. Okay, this is generating text. I mean, RJ is right justify. It's filling in strings with spaces, and we're keeping track of, we're appending to strings and so on. I would like this to become more grid-like. Okay, so I think, now I'm not I'm not sure I recall the UI enough. We must have a generic sync UI. Sync view. Okay. So show report presented. Okay, is that a two-stage thing? Yes. Okay, so our report text ID top. There's the output. Okay. So I think we're going to have to do a separate view for this. And this is one of the things I don't really know. I have other cases where I know the class of the thing I'm looking at, the model, and I want to make a corresponding view for it. I find that really difficult. This one's just relying on the fact that it's a text view. And okay, so whoops, run that again. If you look at Parsons code, well, it is a text view. It's RD and U to tell you if it's a repeat down or up, and little slashes, forward or back slashes to go up or down, and underscores and stuff like that. Okay. Statistic report is a pure text view. Oh, also centered. Okay, vertically. I guess that's here. HDEC text. We can put a spacer. Well, I guess if I do something, let's open a file. No scaling. Get some statistics. Well, what do I know? Stage and output. Verbatim space at the top. I don't know why that's not working. Okay. Again, it's not my real concern. Okay, but I guess my concern is, can we... How can we get a specific average tune view showing and I don't know, my only what's my knowledge? I've got the object is a stage, which is a sync in our case. We generically know, but I would have to ask. And stage doesn't tell you. I mean, maybe sync does have some special information, but okay, title notice output. I mean, it could give us something that told us, are you custom or not, I guess. It's on the model side, so I don't want to put the view itself, but I could do something that triggers the right view. Okay. I'm going to turn this into a text sync view. This. Let's make it up here. Sorry. let's copy this out. In here. What are we going to need? We're going to need stage.output. I think we can do well, we don't even need binding. That's already going to be constant at this point. So just var output of string, and this becomes output. And then we can call it in here. Text title. Well, you know what? I think maybe this whole thing is what we want. VStack. Okay, we'll just accept the stage as being what we take, because we're getting two things out of it. And they are constant, so I don't need to do observable with binding and all that, I don't think. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Let's get that done. Okay, show report. You know, there's a different way to do this. Environment / dismiss. I think, is that before? I think var dismiss of dismiss action. Okay, that's saying give us the global global environment. Expected identifier after. Let's environment dismiss. Dot. Oh, slash dot. Did I do it backwards? Yes, I did. Okay. So this is saying the system environment has an action, a function. You get to it with this key path /.dismiss. It's defined in the environment variable somewhere, and that lets you create a function that automatically is filled in with the function from the system. And what the function does is it dismisses the window, and it also it remembers what field or what variable was used to create the window, and it resets that field so the window goes away, basically. Okay, and it gives you a more generic view, and you're passing less stuff around. So we'll do that. Okay, so I think this takes the title and the output and puts all that stuff in there, and then I should be able in sheet presented to go here, here, and the VStack. Is that balanced? Yes. Okay. And now we can do text sync view. Stage is stage. Okay, let's run this. Okay, it's a report. Let's take this file. Okay, yeah, let's put it in there. All right. 15 measures, notes, average. Okay. That all sounds right. Okay, now that's adequate. Actually, maybe my spacer can go here. I still want that to look better and by default. Okay. Oh. But it doesn't, does it? Wait, that's the wrong place. Okay, let's go to text sync view. Scroll view. I think that spacer should be here. Okay, at least that one's back to normal. No scale. View. Okay, oh, that's Parsons code view, but that looks good. Let's take one that tends to be shorter than the screen, though. Golly, what's the problem? Look at the title, and then a scroll view. Why? You know, I just don't know. And I think if I put it down here, I think I'm only going to bring the done button up closer to the top and not really change anything. I'm not even doing that. Okay. All right. Well, we're not here to do sync view, but let's make sure we haven't messed it up one more time. Okay. Open file. Okay. Okay, now the problem I have, well, I probably should have kept that around. The average tune stage, okay, this should be a sync, yeah. And it's got this, and it's got the output, and it's got all the stuff. But the fact is, I really want to go in and see, I don't want to generate this report. I want this thing to reveal the information that it needed to generate the report, which is this table stuff, the note count table and the note rows, count rows. Okay. And those to me should be, well, they should either, I suspect this should be a model class, an observable object that we can look at. But the problem is the sync view, right? It wants syncs, and syncs know output, but they don't know they don't know how to work with arrays of stuff or any of that stuff. Which maybe means I have to have a separate view, like maybe I need an average sync view. And then somebody's got to know, when do I call the average sync view and when do I call the regular one? Which we have the same problem on the input side too. It's really the same core problem I've been fighting with on these pipeline stages. I wish I had somebody I could talk to about this that knows about it. I tried to get an appointment with Apple, and that kind of fell through. But I need to gather my thoughts and do some posting and asking. Okay, but anyway, I know how to get around it. I just don't like the solution. The solution is create a special sync view, and then in the main view, we check, do I need a specific view here? Okay. Till now, our syncs have all been sync views, and we could just call sync view and not worry about it. But I think now we need to go beyond that. Okay. So we're green. All right. So I guess what I'm going to do is create the average sync view and modify this to use that. For starters, we'll just start the same. Okay. So let's take this. Gosh, I don't know. How do I have to be the same? See, he's generic across the syncs. But does that mean he's... how can I do this? I mean, I really want to give it this. Can I do that? I mean, I don't know. Can I ask a stage? If stage is average tune stage, then this, else this. Well, let's see if that gives us the first cut at this. Cannot find, oops, stage. They're both the same, so it doesn't care in some sense, but it should. All right. Now let's define average sync view instead. That's a little more focused on our situation here. And I'm going to put it up here with the other average stuff. SwiftUI view, yes. Average sync view. Swift. Okay, well, it gave me a free preview. That's nice. Okay. Average sync view. I don't need this part. These two move up. That's redundant. And I'm probably redundant on the bottom. Doubly. That doesn't seem right. Okay. How is that right? Should be body. Oh, that got over. Okay. Okay, this is average sync view. I don't know that we'll need this. It may be helpful in a bit, but for now, I just want to get this one working. Okay, so I've got average sync view. Let's switch this. If you're an average tune stage, average sync view, and the sync is observed object. Cannot convert value of stage. Okay. I mean, this is clunky, but it's doing it. Okay, because the part, I didn't want to repeat all this because that's all generic, but the contents of the sheet, that's specific. Okay. Now, I think we're not observed object. Maybe we need to be, though. Because we want to update this view if the other stuff changes. I think that's probably fair enough. Okay. Let's run it. We've installed the new one in sync view. Okay, so theoretically we'll get the average tune stage. Okay, that's still looking all right. Now, okay, so stage. I think the fact is we need that other class, right? We need the count table. Row info. Where's row info used? Well, the question is, what does the report do, right? He goes through a count table. He does populate. He generates the report. Count table. He grabs column headers. He grabs headers. Row headers. Okay. Let's see if we can get subscript is looking at table. And there it gets measures, but subscript depends on table. So I think this is published. This is certainly published because column headers we accessed, and this is published. I think the problem is it's private. Oh, cannot be applied to a computed property. Highest measure. Measure. We have to look at what it's applying to. Row headers of string. Well, that means it doesn't have to be published if it's constant. Once it's created. Okay, but this one, column headers. Result is string. Result to append. Measure. Note number. Who uses these? Well, row headers, that's certainly... Oh, I don't need to publish because it's constant. Okay. Row headers equals info. Let's see who references this. I don't know if it needs to be public. Note count table. Okay. Well, then. It certainly changes, so it certainly affects the contents of the setup. Now, row info. Problem is I want these column headers. When are they? Oh, I think we're okay. Are we? Okay, because the highest measure updates, that should tell anybody, hey, things have changed in this object. You better go look. Okay, and these are computed from that. Okay, so I think that's okay. Okay, and table. It's weird to me publish private. I don't know if that's quite... And what published is saying is, if anybody ever updates this value, you should let anybody who's watching you know that the value is updated. Okay, and table definitely updates because we append to it, we add to it. Yeah, we add to it. Okay. Subscript is looking at table and indirectly the measures inside it. Okay. All right, and I think the way I'm going to work is append stuff to the view. Okay. Consume output. Average tune stage. No, where's average tune view? Average sync view. Okay. This thing puts that stuff in there. Let's all right. The first thing we show is, well, input file that comes from there. No, maybe not. Metadata. Oh, where is that? Average tune stage. Input is packet. Not my best name. See where that stuff's coming from. Okay, it's got to be coming from the report, right? So average tune report. Okay, table highest measure. Oh, there's metadata. Okay, return metadata. If highest measure is 0. Then that's all we show. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, we do show it. Okay, so I want to say who calls generate report is yes. Okay, so I need to leave this stuff in the note count table. Now, I think I can give this to the table. Okay, and then the type of metadata I think is string. Yeah. Okay, so let's get note count table. init. We can default it for the moment. Type string, and then if it's there, it'll get put in. Okay. All right, so now our table knows the metadata. The name of this thing may have to evolve. Okay. But average tune report puts that in, and then when we call average sync view, we've got the stage. Okay, so we should be able to put the metadata. Text verbatim stage.metadata. Average tune stage. Oh, we want the report. Stage. Well, maybe it should be put here. Starts empty. Consume. Let's make okay, and so I guess I want to pull that out of the other one, which is probably just as well, seeing as it's not really a node count. It succeeded and it failed. How handy. There we go. Okay, so we might be able to get our metadata twice. Okay. Open the file. View. Metadata. Okay. And that's the average tunes, average sync view. Okay, so let me I don't know, I find this such an awkward way. You'd think you could alignment is vertical alignment. I don't want that. Okay. Run. Cannot find spacing. Spacer. Okay, that's good. So now I can take that out of here. I think I'll do it that way. I'm just going to take pieces out as I get them in. Okay, let's see. So let's find that metadata. Let's just return empty string. And then at the bottom, we're not going to need metadata in there. Now I may be checking that in the report. I should check my tests. Nope. Let's open this view. Okay. There may be a test that's looking for some metadata. We'll take that out if it is. Yep. Okay. Output, we drop metadata new line. I guess this new line goes away. I believe they had empty input metadata, on their input. Okay. Let's see if that's better. Metadata new line, assert output. Output should equal new line. I think this is just the no column. Make sure that was empty. Yeah. Okay, so drop the new line there. Okay, so we remove, well, we print metadata in average sync view, remove from report, and adjust tests. Okay, average sync view. Okay, so we put the metadata in. Now, I may have to do the same sort of thing. Let's just get the grid in and then we'll worry about the scroll view later. Okay, so that's just a little marker thing to force scrolling to the top. So when it appears, scroll back to the top. Excuse me. Otherwise, we're doing stage.output. All right, so let's look at the report and see if we can generate this stuff from what? Like somehow we need to see that node count table, I think. Okay. We're calling consume at some point. Let's see where we call that. Right. I don't believe it. Consume. Okay, I'll take it out and see what breaks, because something is going to break. Okay. Average tune stage does not conform. Right, so that's why it doesn't conform. Okay, so let's go look at sync. It's going to have that consume. Okay. Okay, so consume is there. So consume should be producing the stuff we want in here, I think. Okay, so where'd consume go? Stage. Right, so it's generating output. Well, I don't think we're going to care about output in the long run. What we're going to care about is this note count table that the report generates. Okay, and it calls generate. Let me move this over a little. Report calls generate and generates output. Well, I think maybe what it should generate is, it can generate output for now, but I would also like to get this note count table. Okay, so let's make this return string. Oh, now we're into test territory. Oh, do I want to mess with this? I'm trying to figure out what's the lowest impact way to do this. I don't really need. I mean, these two lines are what I need. And generate report takes the table. I mean, what if I did these lines up there? And I know I'm kind of. I don't know if I'm doing this right, but I'm saying the clients should get to the note count table. And this. See, I'm worried that most of this data is read only. Output is not. And we just populated it and it shows. So I guess I think the table will be okay to get. But let's see, sync is a stage and stage is observable. I think we really should be publishing this. I think we're going to make both these published. Any changes? Should reflect it. Okay, let's get this much. Okay, we haven't broken any tests this way. Now, report. Okay, generate report. Okay, we've covered this. We've covered this kinda. Node count rows. That's the row headers, basically. Okay. And then we don't do anything with them till down here. All right, let's swap this around. Whoops, column width we do mess with. I think we're computing this earlier than we need it because we'd reference it down here. Nobody should mind that. Okay, so table contents, table header, column headers, and then we append them. Okay, so that column headers map to a string. That's all work we don't need. Table.column headers we care about. Okay, so I want to say, and I'm a beginner with grid. All right, let's find an example. Okay, a container. Yeah, so we put grid rows with each thing in it. Grids behave like an H stack contained in a V stack. Okay, the grid handles row and column as a single operation, applying alignment and spacing to cells. Okay. Any grid that conforms to layout. I don't know that I do. Multi-column cells. Divider takes as much horizontal space as it offers. Oh, we don't care about horizontal, but I can get dividers in there. Okay, interesting. All right, so let's try creating this grid row. Grid, and then we need a grid row. Okay, we're not going to worry about the looks of it just yet. All right, and then according to the report, the first thing we did was we take the column headers. Well, actually, notice this table contents. We put a blank cell in there, actually. For the corner, we don't really we don't really have anything to say there. I don't know. We'll see about that. But and now we want to do each one of those headers. Okay, so we'll take the table column headers. We don't need to justify and add spaces because each one stands on its own. So let's just try a for each and see what happens. And this is stage.table.column headers. Text. I think the header name is just a string. Well, it'll get there. Verbatim header name. Init and for each string conform to identifiable. Well, this has to be a constant. Init content on each column header's string conform to. Well, we know they're unique. Does that help us any? Because they're measure number dot beat number, major beat number. Okay. Oh, I guess I should have said SwiftUI. Yeah, ID self might be okay. See what they say. Dodge a stereo cannot string index. I don't want do that. Zero based, yeah. Self-delivery strings. Oh, if I can do that, that's nice. Each table to columns dot indices. Really, do I have to say everything again? Self. I think I will do this other way. Since I know they're unique, I think I'm safe with that. Now my other rows are not unique, and I'm going to have to do something about them. Okay, but if this will work, grid trailing closure. Where'd my grid example go? Grid looks like a trailing closure to me. Grid, followed by grid rows. Row. And in the grid row, I can have whatever I want. Okay. Well, let's do a build. Maybe it's just confused, more confused than I am. Grid conform to view. Grid is not there? Interesting. It's like I don't know it, and what I know about it is it can't do this. Grid of content where content of view. This is under SwiftUI. Do I import SwiftUI? I must. Build block. Grid conform to view. Grid. Well, I don't think it could be the only thing there. Grid content where content goes to view. Okay, let's see if somebody else's example is a little more end-to-end. Body. Oh, grid takes parentheses? That seems weird. Why? Okay, var body, some view, grid. Let's make sure I've got everything in a vertical stack. I do. Body, some view. I'm capitalizing these right, okay. Well, I don't want to do all that if I can avoid it. Each element is called a grid item. We can customize it with changing size. That's all fine. I think grid is slightly new. They put it in a scroll view. Well, that's lazy V grid. Grid item. A new container. Well, they got a VStack in the grid. Of course. (2022) is a better time because it's a relatively recent addition. Nope. That's all good. What am I doing wrong? Body. Now, it is top level in all these examples. I don't know if that's... That doesn't seem illegal or anything. And this is nice. I mean, it's a good example with different spacing and all these capabilities. Let's make another class just for a demo. Okay, for each thing in headers, header name. No, so we're not getting a complaint here. Oh no. Conform to view. Am I not set up for late enough? Build settings. Well, info. What about the project info? It's code 13. I mean, I don't think there's any big deal if I went to 14, but I don't think that changes anything. Why can't I get to grid? Return type of body requires grid conform to view. Okay, now that one person had parentheses here, but those seem like redundant to me, or yeah, not meaningful, not needed. Can we get there? Grid. Oh, I have a grid class too. Grr. Oh, golly. Grid init, grid tests, grid class up here somewhere. Grid. I guess we'll call it my grid and just drop the concern. And I'll comment this one out for a moment. Well, hopefully if I do this right, it doesn't become a problem anymore. Yeah. Okay, grid tests. Let's make this my grid tests. And then we had another file that was grid. Yeah. Run tests. All right, I guess I'll adjust myself to edit that. Okay, I'll make sure. Okay. Go back to our code. Average sync view. Oh, now it's all happy with grid. Okay, let's take this back out. Maybe we can undo our way out of it. Okay. Grid demo goes away. Okay, grid row text. All right, let's see if we're getting anything with this. Run this. Look at our no scaling and our melody average view. Well, if they're there, I don't see them. Average tune. That we see. Grid row text for each column that headers. Let's just make sure. Type can I, oh, I'm not going to do this here. Okay. Why would I not see this? Let's put a divider. My header names are not being updated. What does that mean? Table. Is the note count table? Sorry, that's declared here. Let's go to it. Okay. Row headers is a string. Row headers was set here. Goes row info dot headers. And then is row headers never changed again? it is not. So I don't think it has to be published. This should be observable, I guess. Publish certainly won't do anything, but these are static once the object is created. Okay, but let's make sure. I mean, the publish thing mostly just says, like, I will notify you, I guess, anybody who depends on me, I will let them know my stuff is going to change and you should do some updating. But this, I'm not getting them. Row headers. Well, I don't. My argument is this shouldn't matter. Right, it's even a var. It's not even a var. Okay, let's try writing something. Where's table subscript? Row measure node number. 0. I think this is going to blow up if. This is more for my. Okay, so look up 0, 0, 0. If you don't find it, use 99. So I think we'll probably see a 99. Left side is never used. Oh yeah, we always return something, I guess. We'll return 0 if it doesn't exist. Okay. That covers that. And then we need another paren here. Zero. Now, I don't know what the indexes really mean here. A row is an int, so that really could be 0. The measure, well, let's take, that's 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14. Well, 7, 8, 9, 10 should be 12. Okay, so we're going to display row 10. Measure 0, note 0. presumably the first one. Okay, and see if we can get that 12 out. Still a 0. I mean, I'm assuming this measure number is offset by 1. 1, 8, 9, 10, 11. So somebody's out there with, oh, I didn't quantize. Let me quantize. Okay, at least it's only 6 now. I would have thought slot 10, 0, 0 would be this value. Well, can we display the grid? I mean, it's really this stuff. I think it's 0 plus 3 times 7. Well, not quite 3 times 7. 0 here is ones with no notes. Okay, so 7, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 items. Let's try 0 dot dot less than 20. 21. Row number. Text. We want to put this row number name thing, which is the header. I don't know. Is really row header that? I keep feeling like I don't know. I keep feeling like something's going wrong in the updating, and I just am not seeing it. Okay, that's good. Greater than 0. I mean, I think we're getting everybody. This should move into the row, I guess. No. Yeah, I think I'm doing this backwards. This should be in here. for the given row. I guess this should be completely outside the grid row. For each grid row number, for each row number, create a row. First thing in it is text, and then this will become another for each that shows all the items in the row. Okay. All right, let's see how that looks. I'm learning. Oh, much nicer. Okay. It's giving it a lot of space, but I think that problem will go away. We can deal with that. But we've got the right, well, we've almost got them. Maybe this is being separately calculated. I don't know. We got the greater than. We're close. Okay, we don't have the 0 on this last one. And that maybe indicates that our row header names aren't quite lined up with what our report does. Okay, we've got column headers, row headers. Okay. Rows.count. Row headers, scale degree index 2. Oh, right justified. Okay. That's the row. So scale degree 0 rows.count. Note count rows. I don't know if we know that. Let's see. And that's really should be reflecting the row headers, I think. Scale root index. Okay. I'm going to let this go for, well, no, let's take a peek. Row headers is string. It gets set up there, but row info dot headers. Wait a minute. If row headers is row info dot headers, what's, oh, that's a much longer list. It's 21, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I think maybe we put something in to shortcut the number of rows if stuff wasn't being used. Okay, there we go. 0. Yeah, that looks more like it. Actually, that looks better than this one. Maybe it had no less thans. I think that may be the case. Okay, we've got the full scale now. Now, I'm not liking that these counts are all 0 because that seems a little Unlikely. Okay. Okay, so we got the row numbers. We want to repeat these now. Okay, now the column numbers, I don't know, that's a dynamic value. And these for eaches don't like it. But maybe I can do it. All right, so this is for each something, data content, data ID, table dot highest measure. Don't think it's going to like this. For each thing in the highest measure, up to the highest measure. Okay. And that is measure number in this. No, it must be an interliteral. Yeah. I'm surprised that's not a hard error. Maybe I'm going to have to put a little box in there and a little oval in there. Oh, no, I got nothing. Okay. Yeah. Let's do this. We'll hard code it and make sure it can do something. Everything is 0. Okay. Time to put the scroll view in. Why are you 0? Okay. I want to see. Okay, let's dig out the third level on this thing for each. And I'm going to say less than 4 just for now. And this is note number in. Okay, and let's take this. Okay, we should at least have a scroll bar area for our zeros. Okay, yeah, but they're all zeros. Why are you all zeros? Okay, when I see this grid filled in with the right numbers and this grid not, that tells me we have some sort of update problem. All right, so I think we'll take a break here, about 3 minutes, and we'll come back and figure out why things are not updating. Okay, see you in a couple. Okay, welcome back. So I think our question is kind of twofold. One is the table getting populated, the table that we're looking at in our object, is it getting populated with anything besides zeros? And then if it is, why is the update chain not being what broke the update chain? Why is this not showing numbers like the stuff on the bottom? Okay, and I don't know the answer, but I'll set a breakpoint here. This is the consume function. So when we click view, it takes the input packet, pulls out the metadata and publishes that here, and then it, oh, well, I didn't have to run it to see this. It's not updating because I assigned it locally and I didn't assign this one. All right, let's run again. Go. Yeah, I don't need to see you now. I'll trust you for a moment. Continue and view. Ah, numbers. Okay. Oh, very similar numbers to what we're seeing down here. 1, 0, 2, 3, 0, 12, 3, 12, 1, 4, 1, 10. Yeah, the difference is this one only shows the numbers that are the rows that are non-zero. And this one shows all the rows, which I believe we did an optimization for that somewhere. So I'm moderately happy. I don't know about dividers and stuff. Let's see if these are showing the same things. This one, well, it shows up to 48. And these are just blank. Interesting. I don't know why. And the numbers go 1 through 6, 2 through 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This shows up to 48. We ran out of juice in there somewhere, but 48.6, that's kind of good. I don't know why. I mean, we said measures up to 50. If it's 0 through, we got 1 through 48, so that's only 48 values, although that is the only values that are there. Now, the other thing is this thing stopped showing columns after line 34. Oh, I bet this shows the values we really have, and this only goes up to 50 because we hard-coded it. I betcha. Okay, right. Now this, let's do this other bit. So the scroll view reader and the ID top thing, that we put in to make it so that it goes to the right place at the beginning. So let's do that. Scroll view now needs a new one. And this is getting buried pretty deep. I will grant you that. Okay, so in our scroll view, we mostly put the text, but then on up here, and that's on the scroll view. Scroll to top, and we need the anchor. And I don't know if we need all that. I feel like we could put that here. Okay. Now, I don't know if we have two ID tops. Will that kind of screw things up? Let's run the experiment. Well, let's run the tests and then we'll run the experiment. Okay, let's get our no scale and ABC and melody average. Okay, notice it is at the top. Scroll to the top and on the left. And it doesn't seem to have screwed this up, although there's more space here than I want. I wonder if I do this. And I'm forcing it to the top left. I don't know that I need an H stack for this. Okay. Memorize this gap. Well, the 1.1 is 1/4 inch below the top of the manual input, maybe? Will that come out the same? Yeah, it looks like the same to me. Although the scroll view, I mean, there could be a blank line there. Excuse me. All right, but I feel like we're up to a point worth critiquing here. Okay, so what's going on? All right, we've got our grid view and we've got a report, and I think I would have to say, other than the fact that we're showing a lot more rows and a lot fewer columns, or a number of fewer columns, I think this is okay. Now, do we need the dividers? I mean, it sure is giving them a lot of room. Let's put them in and see what happens. Now, I don't know where these go. Grid row. And then after each row divider. Huh, how do I get vertical dividers? And where are my horizontal dividers? They're not there. Okay. Oh, they need to be, well, no, this is a grid row. Huh, how do I get those in there? Maybe it has to go after the row. I bet that is probably true. Now these vertical ones, I don't think they're coming out right. Okay, I mean, those are there. But these, yeah, that's breaking up. Okay, I'm going to take this one out. I'm going to take the ones out up here. HDEC verbatim top. Text for each. Okay, that's the ones in the columns. I mean, maybe that's enough. You know, less ink is more in some ways, and it's kind of a Tuftian kind of view. If we don't need it, then it's better not to have it, but I don't know if the eye needs it. Tracking these things, they don't stand out very well, I will say. But at least now they're coordinated to the right line. Oh, and maybe this is looking better. Nope. Okay. Would I mean, I guess I can kind of see them. Let's take an arbitrary one, 3.5. I think, well, I think we got enough to go back to the examples and see if we can improve things, right? Now I could give everybody a background cell color. Cell content index color red. Cell content. Oh, these are views. Background color. Are they rounded on purpose? Yep. Okay. I mean, we certainly could put them all in a light gray, or maybe make the count alternate rows with the count, or alternate columns. Ooh, alternating columns might be nice. Okay, so that's a possible thing. Wow, I haven't done my to-do at all today, have I? Let's dig that up. Okay, compute the mode for each position. Well, that's a good thing to do, but what we're doing is switch to a grid-based report. That's what we've really been doing. Okay, and then I think we need to draw rows in range from first to last non-zero value, if I can say it that way. So I want to find the first non-zero value in any column, well, which may not exist here. Okay, it does not. We have a 7 plus. Okay. Yeah, so that, but so the 7 plus, I mean, we could omit that if we don't need it, but the 7 plus, we do need it at least once. Okay, so there's somebody that goes up as high as 7 plus, and down here, the lowest I think we see 3 minus. Yeah, we see some 3 minus, and we don't see anything but zeros underneath it, except for this last row, which is basically saying empty measures. Okay. A lot of zeros out here, because I think there's only one song that gets in that range. Ooh, something's... There's 111, 33.1. What about you? What do you think about 33.1? 33.1. You know, it'd be nice to have those headers sticky, wouldn't it? But he has 33.1 at the top. It's 6. Yeah, something's funny. Something's funny. Okay. Yeah, there's a little bit of weirdness going on here. We checked that first column kind of, but I didn't check everything else. Now, in principle, we have tests that the counting is done more or less correctly. It's done in the report. This generate report, but populate table. Actually, I guess this is the one that's doing all the work. Okay, yeah, it's going through the list of tunes. It's going through each tune and populating it and counting the measures. Something's funny there, isn't it? Measure and tune.measures. Oh, plus equals 1 in the loop. Okay. Yeah, that is tracking the measures. Okay, populate. So all those presumably are tested by note cable count table tests here. I mean, it is checking that things get incremented, but something is off. Okay, so let's take the top. Boy, that font is a little tiny for my eyes. Measure 1, 5 plus. 1, 1, 2. Okay, let's get down to 3.1. Well, it's a little tighter, isn't it? 1. Wait a minute. A 4 plus on 3.1? We're not seeing that here. Then 013112. These aren't lining up. Okay, so they are off. Well, maybe another day's thing when I'm a little fresher, but something's off. Okay, let's see. I'll measure 1 fares. Okay, 100230, 100230, 312141, 10 000, 101. And notice 1 and 2 aren't used, so 1, 2, and less. Okay, but that does seem correct. 1.2. Gosh, it'd be nice to highlight these, wouldn't it? Let's see. I think there is a way to have sticky headers. Let's see. SwiftUI grid sticky headers. Well, table view has it. Yeah, I mean, this sort of thing is nice. Yeah, I'm annoyed by those. Okay. SwiftUI grids iOS 14. Oh, another one. It's not really medium. Now, this is kind of do-it-yourself. Grid sticky headers. Pinnable scrollable views? Is that a real thing or is that a made-up thing? Pinned scrollable views. Okay. Does it only go in those? Scroll list. Pinned views. Section headers. Dot section headers. Okay. Well, all right. Let's see what grid will do with this. Grid. Alignment, horizontal spacing, vertical spacing, and content. That doesn't sound like it supports that sticky header thing. Okay. Can we do it ourselves? Can we put them in the middle of a grid? Okay, that's the rows. This has to be on the scroll view. Okay, let's give this a roll. What does that mean? Oh, well, that's probably not helping anything. It seems a little weird. So I'm not convinced it's legit. Yeah. So a grid row and a divider. Now, where are these values? They seem to be dropped in there. One, 7 plus. Well, that's the row headers. Oh, they're all there. Okay. Scroll view. So why didn't I get my grid row with column headers? Did I? Not apparently. Okay, so let's undo this. Now it's outside the grid. Okay, I should have pushed before that experiment too. All right. Okay, we appear to be back to where we were. All right, now I may be misled. 0001002. Okay, that first column is right. I think 1.2 was already wrong. 5 plus 1, 2, 0, 0, 2, 1, 4, 8, 1, 6, 0, 3, bunch of zeros. Okay, column 2 seems okay. Let's try measure 2.1. 2.1, 3. Okay, that. Oh, I can't select these. 3. In 2.1, the first number we see is 3 plus. 3 plus. Oh, that looks like a 3. Oh, am I off? Okay. All right, so I'm going to put that on our to-do. Understand why they differ. Yes, that seems good. Compute the mode for each position. I really would like to. I would love to draw lines from them. I don't know if I've got enough information to do that. But I certainly can compute the mode and then mark it if it's a mode value, like Mr. 12 here and Mr. 8 and Mr. 11, 9, dum, bum, bum, bum. Nobody has 5 and 6. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. And let's see here. Are the 5 and 6s zeroed out? They are not. That was my suspicion. Okay, I think this is probably 2.1. 7047222. Okay. Let's see. 1.5 above matches 2.1 below. Okay, that'll give us a hint. All right. Okay. It would be nice. Okay, I'd like to know if I can put grid dividers in. Yeah, can I put vertical grid dividers? Now I don't know what they're doing here. They're putting space, I think, or cell content. Okay, no border. It may be that the corner radius thing gives it that. Min width 50, max width infinity, height 100. Okay, so I don't see anything that would put the space in there except the grid itself. Okay, and then I want to bold those mode numbers. Is that compute the mode for each position? Okay, we don't need to compute it yet. Highlight the entries. Yeah, we would like to do that. Create a graphical report. That's the one we're working on. Only show the first row with entries, the last row with entries, but always show scale degree 1 even if 0. Oh, that's really that. Okay. Okay. Creation. Yeah. All right. What else can we get from Apple? Oh, we can control spacing. Okay, that's good to know. I don't know what layout protocol does. Provide a view rather than a grid L row. Uses the view to create a row that spans all columns. Add a divider between rows. Okay. Grid cell. To prevent a flexible view from taking more access than other cells. Well, that's affecting the width. Okay, you get empty cells automatically. Alignment bottom, okay. Horizontal spacing. 1. Oh, spacing between cells. Okay, that's controllable. Good. Okay, let's go find that divider again. I guess we want a divider. Separates other content horizontally, but not in a stack. Okay. SwiftUI grid, vertical divider. Everything I need to know. Okay. Can be vertical. Okay, that's good. Used in a stack, it extends across the minor axis. Okay. Horizontal stack, vertical, yes. Not in a stack. Frame height. Well, that's a vertical. I mean, I don't want to have to put them in grid row, but no, we didn't have any vertical ones, did we? Let's try them between. Okay, so we've got them between rows. If I put them here, let's try this again. Do I get vertical ones or do I get horizontal ones? This is between the column headers, so if I can't get them there. Now the other thing is, I don't know if we can change that color between them. Okay, I'm not showing anything between these guys. Okay, because it wants to only do the minor axis. Grr. All right, so that's not doing anything. Okay, this is showing between rows. That's fine. Probably after the last one. Yes, that's fine. Well, okay. Let's go back to grid. Oops. Grid. And see what his initializer is. Alignment. Horizontal spacing, vertical spacing. Configures all cells to use bottom line. Yeah. Okay. Reduce spacing. I guess I'm going to have to give these things It's like I'm gonna have to give each one its own little view. What if I just did something like this? Dot background. Dot is background color. I know I got foreground color. Background in style. Is it just dot color? I might have to drop it in a view and oh, dot background. Okay. Gray. Is it happy? Well, I admit I thought it would be a little more roomy. Okay, I guess that's on me. I gotta put some padding. Maybe I should have put that preview in there. A little better. Okay. I mean, the colors, they're not what we're after. And let's put grid. Okay, spacing wise, that's really good. I think colors are horrible. I think I can say, well, let's see what I can get here. Light gray. Gray, green. Can I say color? Name bundle. I don't know if I can do this like light green. Maybe let's do a yellow. And I don't know, what do I have to do to get this thing going? He needs a stage with all that table defined. That's going to be messy. We'll just run. I really had to fix these. Okay, that's that one. Let's try this one. Well, I don't see any color in there. This is not a yellow. Yeah, we do have our named colors. Let's see if we can find something we like there. Oop, assets. Source.contrast. Okay, that's a light gray. Looks like the same light gray. Oh, maybe if I spelled it that way, it would have been okay. I really need to build that habit of only referring to colors in the resource files. Okay, well, that's at least more readable. I almost can take the dividers out and let the spacing between the cells represent the divider. Okay, let's do that. The row dividers are gone. Oh, the top one's probably okay. And then, yeah, let's do that. I think that's adequate. I might want to put the frame widths. I know you can set them at one place, but I'm seeing varying widths between probably 6.3 is a little fatter than 1.1. And 1.6 is a little fat, and 1.5 is a little fatter than 1.4 or something like that. They do line up still. Yeah, I think they're maintaining their alignment. Okay, so we can work on that. Choose fixed size cells, set color, etc. Okay. All right. I think we will stop here. So we have accomplished something in that we've got a similar report coming with the grid compared to this more text-based report. And in the end, I want to get rid of the text-based one. We do still have something going on with this measure number access thing that here 1.5 is all zeros, 1.6 is all zeros, and we seem to have skipped over that and moved the data over to it. I don't know why that would have happened. Maybe we're not getting all the way to 1.6. Oh, we're not. I hard coded a 4 in there. Okay. We'll straighten that out. Okay. Yeah. That's all that is. Okay. Our headers put the actual headers. This thing assumed they're that, and I guess I can quickly verify that. Okay. Scale and quantize and that. Yeah, I think we're good there. It looks like zeros 704, 7222, 222, and to 15 coming up. Yep. Okay. That is the problem. Okay. And I do think I want fixed size cells because these ones with 2 digits are showing up as fatter. And I think once we do that, the look of it will be a little firmer. Maybe we can put 2 different background colors based on some sort of counter or odd even or something like that. I think we will do that as part of the view, just to try and make it all so your eye can skim down in a given column. I really would like these pinned columns. Let's investigate pinned headers for rows and columns. Okay, very good. All right. But I think my fear last year was because there was a limit of 10 views in another view, and this has a bunch more than 10 rows and columns, but the grid already takes care of that. It just deals with it. So I'm misled myself on that. Okay, but I think we're getting there, and we'll pick up there tomorrow. It may be a little more investigative, but if we can figure out how to make the row counters not rely on hard-coded data. Okay, make row and it's make indices not fixed size in grid. Okay, that's the real thing we have to do. That may take some doing to make the for each happy, but I think we can do that. And at that point, we will we'll have this thing going based on the data it gets and not based on hard-coded 50 measures of 6 notes each, which is weird. Okay, and I think that will help us substantially. All right, so we'll pick up there. Thanks for joining today, and see you tomorrow, 1 to 3 p.m., 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, or 6 to 8:30 p.m. UTC. Take care. Bye-bye.